My first experience with a pomegranate. Um, well, I started cooking very young, and I remember the first time that I saw a pomegranate, I wasn't really sure what to do with it or how to get at it. And, the sous chef that I was with at the time, we were using him in a salad, and, he cut this thing open, and I saw these beautiful seeds on the inside, and I tasted one, and, I've been a fan ever since. Well, we've been having a lot of fun with POM. The other day, for example, we've actually taken it, reduced it with a little bit of black pepper, and turned it into a beautiful glaze for a piece of duck. I mean, it's fantastic. POM is one of those things, you know what I mean, that not a lot of people really think about it cooking. You only see the juice and you see the seeds and you put them on a salad, but I've found, just recently that you can do all sorts of different stuff. So you can reduce it, you can turn it into a glaze, you can make a cocktail, you can finish a sauce with it. I mean, it's basically like using acid, you know what I mean, which I use different vinegars and fruit juices already. It's a new thing that I think is going to be very popular with other chefs around. The best advice as a chef that I can give to people at home when they're cooking or entertaining people is to get everything done before, so that when your guests arrive, you can chill and hang out and maybe just put finishing touches. But when you're running around like a crazy person trying to make sure everything's perfect while people are trying to relax, it usually doesn't mesh too well. Three foods that I definitely could not live without: extra virgin olive oil, spicy soppressata, probably Parmesan cheese. I mean, my philosophy on food, fresh is first and foremost. You cannot take an old green bean and add garlic and butter to it and make it taste good. I say all the time to my cooks and to people out there when they ask me this, I mean, you can't make something bad taste good. It's got to start with the freshest, most pristine ingredients that you can get your hands on. Well, it kind of ties in as far as the seasonality of things, you know what I mean? Things are at their peak during different seasons. So when I talk about making sure that you get the best green bean, you can't get the best green bean when it's not in season. So it all kind of, it's circular. Everything feeds off each other. The things that are peak in season when they're good is the best available time to use them. My favorite tools, first and foremost, my knife. I've been with it for quite some time now. We've been together, I think, a little over 10 years. I have a peeler that I've had for 4 years. Just a little $1.99 black peeler. I love using microplane. A microplane, not a lot of people have them at home, but it's a great way to add, cheese or lemon zest, or you can even grate garlic. I mean, a microplane is something that I think every home cook should have in their pantry. My three favorite places to eat in Manhattan would have to be Peasant down in Nolita. And then the other one is called Saigon Bakery. They make an amazing banh mi sandwich. And just recently, I had a fantastic dinner at the John Dory by April Bloomfield. I think the strangest thing I ever ate that I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it was Sriracha Ice Cream. Sriracha is a chili paste, and we turned it into ice cream. And I wasn't sure about it, but it was pretty badass. When people are following a recipe, I say to them all the time, a recipe is a guideline, it's not a rule, If you want to add tarragon instead of chives, or if you want to use, apples instead of a pear, I mean, it's all up to you. I think some people get very focused on a recipe when they're reading it, and they lose the sight of, at the end of the day, you're cooking to eat, to have fun, to enjoy. And I think sometimes when people get too into a recipe, they forget that, and they act like a robot, and they do this, that, the other thing. So just relax, have fun, and put your own fingerprints on them. The hardest part of the next Iron Chef, other than beating the other 9 people, it was honestly a test of everything. It was a test physically, mentally, emotionally. By the end of it, you have to understand that was like 6 weeks, and it literally consumed every part of my body, my living, my thoughts, my dreams. It never stopped for 24 hours. It was just like a constant, what can I come up with next? How can I come up with something more creative? Is this going to be better than what they're doing? And it really, another 2 weeks, and I might have had to go see somebody over at Bellevue. I was starting to lose it a little bit. I always liked to cook, always, my whole life, but I don't think I realized I wanted to be a chef until I was about a junior in college, and I was sleeping through all the other classes that I was majoring in, and then for fun, I was cooking at my house for my friends. And at one point I was like cooking something, I was drinking a glass of wine, listening to music, having the time of my life, and I kind of just looked around and I'm like, you know what, this is what I want to do. I'm not going to psych class tomorrow. Since I've been working with POM Wonderful, I've noticed how versatile not only the arils are, but the juices in particular. I mean, you can reduce them, you can mix them with olive oil, you can put the arils on a salad, you can puree them, you can juice them. You know, I think it really kind of opened my eyes as to different ways you can cook with them. You know, if there's people out there that are thinking about doing the next Iron Chef, or chefs are out there, I highly recommend that you get back on the line and start cooking again. I think, you know, you forget all the little things that go into, you know, chopping something from scratch and getting it in the pan and seasoning it instead of just having one of your cooks kind of put a recipe together for you. I would highly recommend doing a couple months back on your line. So the fresh pomegranate arils, you know, I think some people, they get lost sometimes. People think they're just like a finishing garnish. But we've done things, you know, like put them inside of stuffings, put them inside of a ravioli. They're not just for the beauty on top of a salad. They really give you a beautiful texture and like a little crunch, and, you know, something that I always, when I'm making a dish, I'll taste it, and there always needs to be some type of texture or crunch or pop, and a pomegranate has all of those things inside it.